Good luck to you. You know that a lot of others are out there too. The hustle and the bustle of holiday buying is in full swing, as are the activities of pickpockets and con artists. Now, to keep you safe when you venture out, we've asked Private Detective Faye Farron from the Rat Dog Dick Detective Agency in to give us some pointers on how to better protect ourselves. Hello.
Hello.
Have you been shopping?
Yes.
It's hard.
I got you something.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Let's get that over with.
All right.
Now you can talk.
Okay.
You know, this is like the main time for pickpockets and people to be...
This is their busy season.
Yeah, at the airport, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me some tips for women. Let's start with women.
Tips for women. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. You have a purse. It should be a shoulder bag type of purse. Mm-hmm. And you usually have a flap or something. Carry the flap on the inside, like this.
Okay.
Okay? What they look for when they're going for this is this sort of a thing with an open thing, because they can reach right
flap.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do they choose their victims usually?
By the way people are carrying their valuables, exactly. Now, one of the major places that this happens is, you know, when you're crossing the street and you've got to wait for the light, you've got 25 seconds that you're standing there waiting for a light. And I have seen videos of people just sitting there absolutely picking through and very carefully taking it out. And you're just standing there for...
And you don't have any clue at all because you're surrounded and you're jostled.
Yeah.
Do most pickpockets work in pairs still?
Well, whenever I do it, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. They do it singly, but it's done very well in pairs. And one of the reasons is because diversion is just such a huge part of this. And so I was actually on the streets of New York working with a couple of New York City PD who were showing me how pockets were picked, and it was very interesting. And what they would do was one of them would come and jostle me and actually make me mad. And while I was standing there kind of arguing with him, the other guy was just having a field day in my purse. And the angrier I got and the more of a diversion and the more obnoxious he got, the more vulnerable that I was to this whole thing.
Right, whether it's asking you a question, getting you upset, spilling something on you.
He actually got in line in front of me, which of course made me very angry.
Right. Yeah. In terms of men, what do you suggest?
Men, obviously, they go for the wallet. When you carry your wallet here and you do it in such a way where the wallet is open like this, it slides out very easily.
Right.
If it's turned over, then it doesn't slide out as easily. And when you have a rubber band around it, it doesn't slide out as easily. But if you carry it on an inside pocket, it's much safer than that. So the closer you can keep your valuables to you, the better off they're going to be.
Okay. Any suggestions in terms of, oh gosh, not even your purse and your wallet? What about valuables like your packages? You know, do you just stand there with them between your legs while you're at the department store counter? You know, because a lot of people don't realize people come along and swoop those up too.
They do. And when you sit down and you have lunch and you have them all around you, they can definitely disappear. And the whole diversion thing comes in. If somebody asks you, you know, if you set them down and somebody asks you directions or whatever, you know, and anything they can do to separate you. So yeah, you've got to bundle all your things around you. And
when can you trust anyone anymore?
Well, you just can't,
can you? Especially in your line of business.
No, I've learned.
Okay. Any other last minute things? Like backpacks, for instance. What happens with those?
Backpacks are just
vulnerable are you?
They're very vulnerable. They've got zippers. They just go off. And the more crowded things get, the more... One thing you should really watch out for is if somebody does jostle you, it should be a red flag. I mean, you should grab everything around you and, you know...
Yeah, or just move your backpack in the front or not carry anything in it that you're going to not want to lose.
Another important point, yes, is don't carry a lot of credit cards with you.
Right.
You know.
I think that if you're running around with a bunch of cash and a bunch of credit cards, these days you are almost asking for trouble.
You know, I one time was so careful Christmas shopping, and on Christmas Eve got my wallet stolen with what was left with my money. And I was just so careful to buy, you know, the best deals that I could, and then they just took it. And I thought, I just wish I had it in packages.
Right, right.
You know?
I'm sorry about that.
Well, it was a long time ago. I'm over it.
You can reach Faye at the Rat Dog Dick Detective Agency in San Francisco, and her number is 415-957-0220, and she does provide a lot of good service, even though she can't remember where her wallet is on Christmas Eve. Now, stay with us, because when we come back, a woman who is heady over the holidays.